Let's talk about the Connecticut real estate market. What do you see happening out there? Is it a seller's market? Is it a buyer's market? What exactly is going on?
I love this question, right? Most real estate agents and brokers fumble this question because they answer it one of two ways. Oh, it's great. Or they'll say, well, it's not that good, right? And it's always dependent on their deals,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
So the real answer is, well, it depends. Are you looking to buy, sell, or rent, right?
And in what price range?
And so you start breaking it down from there. So Connecticut, and my part of the shoreline is really, we'll just call it east of New Haven. I go as far at times as Madison and Branford, but the real bulk of my area is, I would say, Westbrook, Clinton, Saybrook to Stonington, and then maybe once in a blue moon into Westerly. Like that stretch of the shoreline is where we typically operate, and each one of those towns has a different story.
Okay.
Right? Old Lyme, for instance, right now has high levels of inventory, especially in that higher end. You go to the next town over, East Lyme, the town that I live in, East Lyme and Niantic, from $300,000 to $600,000, everything since January 1's in multiple offer situation in that price range.
I love it. We're seeing a lot of towns here doing that too.
Yeah. Now, but Old Lyme, $300,000 to $600,000, not the story, right? Same, they're right next door. But so it's different, and the high end still has a lot of inventory. There's a lot of inventory that's going to flood the market in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
A ton. Right, I've got some that's coming on. Luckily, I have one that is under contract right now, one of the big ones, right? And
what's a big one?
It was listed at 1775 in Westbrook, in Pilots Point, and so that's an area that I sold one on Facebook last year. No MLS, just Facebook, and it was over 1.7 million. It was a deal, a record deal in that marketplace for the last 5 years.
It's awesome.
But those are far and few between. And there's a lot, trust me, there are a lot of people that think they have $1 million home, and they're really sitting on a $750,000 home.
We see it all the time. And they'll sit for years and years and years and years. And what happens? They get a low, low price when they finally do sell.
Yeah, maybe they could have gotten $758, but they end up getting $625.
All the time.
Right? And that's a consistent story. So I think one of the earlier segments you said, we're working a wide price range. Some people, when they get into the high end, they do one high end deal, they start trying to just market themselves as that high end agent, that high end broker, because they're like, oh man, this will be so much easier. I sell 3-4 high end homes. I don't have to sell 20, right? That market always is, in Connecticut speaking, my market, it is what it is. Stonington, you're going to get your 5 to 15 million-ish deals a year. Old Lyme, you're going to get anywhere from 5 to 10. East Lyme, you're going to get a handful. Groton Long Point's going to have a few every year. But Groton Long Point last year had over 40 homes for sale. Wow, yeah. I was lucky, Emilio, to have the highest sale for $2.1 million.
They only
just
had
a little humble brag.
40. Wait.
But 40 listings.
That's it?
And Groton Long Point is a waterfront community, so
Yeah.
it's a very small waterfront community.
Okay.
But that's a lot of listings. For
Oh,
Groton
that's a
Long
lot?
Point.
Okay.
Yes, for Groton, because Groton is a huge city town. You got all these different parts. Groton Long Point, just that point, 40's a ton of inventory.
What's the size of that? Is it like a mile radius? Like Central Falls over here is like a mile, smallest.
Yeah, about a mile radius. I mean, if that.
Well, that is a lot of units for a mile radius.
Yeah, it's a beachfront community.
Yeah.
Diving back a little bit into Connecticut, what we've seen, and I'm interested to hear if you've seen the same thing, since January 1, new administration, interest rate scare, we've seen that lower end and then the next level really pick up steam.
Yes.
A lot more showings, a lot more offers,
Yeah.
a lot more buyers. about the same amount of inventory we've seen over the last couple of years. It's just getting scooped up quicker.
Oh, yeah. You know what we're seeing? We're seeing a lot of actually uneducated buyers out there. And actually, like we were talking before, a lot of new realtors trying to give these buyers, service. But what's happening is they're not educated to the market. Now, yesterday, I took 6 offers on a home out in East Greenwich, waterfront property, absolutely beautiful. House was on the market for $440. Okay, 6 offers. We had several over, and we also had some of them under. I mean, I'm talking, I can't give the numbers out, but I'm talking grossly underpriced. And it was like, why? What is happening? Why are you putting those kinds of offers in? Have you been educated on the market? And what's happening out there right now in Rhode Island, I'm sure Connecticut, and all the way across the country, is the inventory levels are so extremely low, where the sellers are pretty much running the market. The supply is low, demand is high, prices are up, interest rates should be rising, which they really haven't a ton.
They really haven't, yeah.
And buyers
was the interesting part of the whole equation.
It is really, and what's happening is buyers get smacked around a little bit at first. They put in low offers. They feel like it's 2010, 11, 12 still, and then it takes a few for them to really get that house. You know?
Totally agree. A lot of buyers right now are like, well, I don't want to wait too long because now the interest rates are going to rise, but I don't want to miss the boat of the great deals were 2012.
Gone.
That's when, and you can still get a great deal today, depending on what price range, what town, what your needs are. But the great deals of 2012 happened in 2012 for a reason, because the people sitting on a pile of cash took advantage, and those that didn't have the cash missed out.
Will happen again sometime.
It'll definitely happen again. So save your money.
Absolutely. You know, I just want to give you I'm going to give you a brief idea of what's happening in the national and Rhode Island market as well. So existing home sales from March actually hit their highest pace in over 10 years across the country. That's pretty phenomenal. Sales are up 4.4%. Okay, and we're talking about 5.71 million units across the country sold in March. That's nuts. Think about that.
That is
nuts. 5.71 million units sold in March, and 5.9% higher as far as the amount of
average
homes
sale
sold.
Price?
No, as far as the amount of homes sold over last year.
Okay,
so
5.9% higher in March than 2016.
Yes,
Got
exactly. Now that's crazy. Now check this out. Here's our inventory in Rhode Island. Okay, we right now have 2,419 active homes in Rhode Island. We've got 2,221 homes that are pending. So we have just as many pending homes as active homes. If we were to sell every house in Rhode Island in the next 2.5 months, there would literally be nothing else, because homes are selling in about 2.5 month period on market. So the inventory is scarce. If there was any time that you wanted to sell or had to sell a property, or you were looking for equity, that time is now. Buyers are fighting over houses. We're taking multiple offers on nearly everything. The median home price in Rhode Island's up as well.
Where do
$250.
And Connecticut and a lot of the markets that I work in, we haven't actually hit peak levels in terms of value.
No, we haven't either here.
You haven't either. Now, do you believe what I believe, which is you're not going to hit it on this one?
I don't think so either.
Before it drops out, you're not hitting what you had in 2006 in Connecticut. In my opinion, I don't have a glass ball. I'm not sitting here. I'd be in Vegas betting the number 5 on roulette every time if I knew what was coming, right?
I hear you. Me too.
But I don't, right? But from my experience and what I see out there, we're not hitting the peak on this upswing.
Well, there's a couple of things that I do think are going to actually happen and continue to drive prices up in the housing market through 2018. And what that is
through 18.
Through 18, okay?
I hope you're right.
Yeah, me too. And what that is actually the amount of discouraged buyers out there that are actually walking away. They're giving up. They're walking away. Also, as long as inventory stays low, which I think it will for a little while, okay? As long as it stays pretty low, and in Rhode Island, I'm talking under 4,000 units, okay, active on the market, I think that prices are going to continue to climb. These buyers are going to come back, and we also have the boomerang buyers. We can't forget about the boomerang buyers. Those people that were foreclosed on or went through short sales, now they're able to buy again.
A lot of them can buy right now.
We're talking millions of people across the country, okay? Never mind the millennials that actually have gotten out of mom and dad's basement or trying to get out of mom and dad's basement.